I don't know, Karen. How do you see this ending?
Well, the depressing, when I think there's a depressing end, which is the turning Gaza into a moonscape with contaminated, salt. They're going to flood the tunnels with salt water from the ocean. Just make it completely inhospitable and inhabitable for any person, and turn it into some sort of barrier zone initially, and eventually repopulate it with probably with Western investment, U.S. money, to rebuild it as part of Israel proper. That's one view. And the Palestinians that survive, that problem the can gets kicked down the road, and of course many will die, and they will become even more of a diaspora. So that's one view, and that's one possibility, and I think it's the one Bibi Netanyahu wants, frankly. And he wants to make it happen as rapidly as possible. There is another outcome, and this actually over time will happen, and that is the alienation of Israel, and particularly its government, but also Israel as a nation. The alienation that it has created for itself. The United States is already largely alienated 3/4 of the rest of the world by our actions, but Israel is doing it in a very conscientious way by murdering and taking this land and refusing to basically make a policy based on your hatred
Right.
and your contempt for people. They are showing hatred and contempt for all of their neighbors. Their neighbors have other opportunities for friends, not just American friends. As we see, as the world becomes multipolar, we have, Iran and Saudi Arabia can talk to each other. China exists as a friend to many of these countries that might have wanted to be friends with Israel, but they don't have to be. And so Israel, I think, is going to further isolate itself. And I think this is what Secretary of Defense Austin said about strategic errors being made by Israel. And I think that's what he's talking about, this long-term global judgment that is going to be made about Israel and its goodness, its trustability, its trustworthiness, its kindness, its existence as a fellow nation in a world of nations. I think it's going to hurt itself. And the world is changing. The world is de-dollarizing. Multiple investment opportunities and opportunities for growth and prosperity all around the world are popping up everywhere. They're not being created by the United States. In fact, we're fighting many of those movements, but it's happening. So
Right.
the neighbors that Israel has, they are burning bridges with these guys. And look at Turkey. I mean, Turkey and Israel had spent decades working together and progressing to a level of trade and discussion and working on projects together. And this destruction of Gaza, this single-headed, single-minded murder by the state of these people has caused, Erdogan to lead. He's not just sitting in Turkey where people are rioting for the Palestinians and against Israel. He's leading that. He's calling for the arrest of Netanyahu as a war criminal. This is all of that work done to have Israel to productively live with its neighbors in that land. Threw it out the window. In 3 days, it's gone because of the way they're behaving. So the people of the world who condemn this will make choices, and they will make choices not to support Israel. They will make choices not to vote for Israeli supporting politicians. They will make choices not to purchase Israeli products. They will boycott companies that have bombed, that have provided the weapons and the bombs to kill Palestinians. And that movement has already happened, the BDS movement and others, but this will continue to grow, and it will hurt Israel in the long run. If they can't, and I don't understand why they can't see this, but I think Bibi very much is scared of his own political life, his own ability to stay out of jail. You notice he never took responsibility for October 7th. He had every opportunity to at least say he had the support. He could have at least say, this happened on my watch and I'm going to fix it. This is, but he didn't do that. He pointed the fingers everywhere but himself. And in a sense, that's kind of a little icon of Israel's whole policy. They are handling this in such a way that as it's happening and after it's happened, Israel gets no points from anybody in the world. And our country's in trouble because Americans see this, and we're not proud of it. Americans are not proud of how we are conducting ourselves.